Hi guys, Joanna speaking. Today I'm going to show you a game whose campaign was on Kickstarter. This game is Wild Assent, and this time a new campaign of this game. It will take place on the GameFound platform. So, in a moment I will show you and introduce you to the hand version of the cooperative mode for 1 to 4 players. Wild Assent is a fantasy game in which we will hunt various fantastic creatures, expand our camp, which will not only create the necessary and powerful equipment, but also depend our characters and struggle with time or other players in the arena. So take a look of this game with detail. In Wild Assent, you will play in 3 modes: cooperative mode, hunting in the wild, competition in the arena, and as well as playing the entire campaign, combining the adventures into one large story. On the green side of the game board, characters will move to the wilderness where monsters are swarming. On the other side, we have the arena, where gladiators and captured monsters will fight to the death and life. Speaking of heroes, take a look at what characters you have to choose from. From among 8 heroes, you choose 4 to take part in the game. Some of them, due to their skills, will hunt creatures in the wild, and others are gladiators, create duels in the arena. In the upper left corner of each board, you can see a blue symbol with the hero's speed value. The red symbol of the right is his health level. Below are listed the attack and defense statistics, special ability and skills of this character. On the right side of the board, there are skills that you will unlock during the game. Therefore, after selecting the heroes, place their boards with the appropriate side in front of the player so that he has free access to all of his character skills. Each seeker and gladiators has a miniature, so take a look at all of them. In the solo mode, the player manages all 4 characters. Playing with 2 players, each player will control 2 heroes. In 3-player game, 1 person manages 2 characters, the other players by 1 hero. And in a 4-person game, each has an own seeker. So after choosing a character, find the correct miniature and place them with 1 exhausting token for each of them next to the hero board. Your goals in the cooperative mode, the hunt, will be survive 10 seasons, so all players must work together to hunt, capture and kill monsters while expanding and defeating your camp. The camp is shown on the camp board with 5 types of buildings. I will tell you about them in a moment. At the bottom of this board, there are 6 worker slots. The first 3 are available for the beginning of the game. The remaining 3 must be unlocked by upgrading the barracks. So now take a look at the workers. Each of them specializes in something different, and thus each will provide characters with useful crafting recipes and unique abilities described at the bottom of the card. Hiring a worker costs 1 gold. Each worker is assigned to a specific building of your camp. Its symbol is shown in the lower right corner of the card. Even if you do not have that building in your camp, you can hire such a worker. However, then you will not use his special ability and recipes to create a given item. The required set of resources, such as horn, feather or eyes, are specified by symbols at the bottom of the card. So, it's better to hire workers for the types of the buildings in your camp. When setting up the game, choose the first worker for the camp. To do this, shuffle to the worker card deck and draw 3 cards from it. From these cards, players choose 1 worker and place it in the first space at the bottom of the camp board. Shuffle the remaining 2 cards into the worker card deck, which is placed next to the board. The camp is shown on the board with 5 types of buildings. The temple is a place where seekers can spend actions to heal. By developing the temple, we will not only strengthen the healing options, but also the number of seekers who can visit this place at the same time. In the workshop, you will not only feel the heat of the fire and hear the clang of steel. This place will allow you to create powerful equipment and inventory, the power of which in some cases will depend on the level of this place. For that, you need workers with their unique recipes. The barracks are home to the entire camp. They also provide passive healing. The number of places for workers who can live here increases with each upgrade of this building. The Seeker's Den is a command tab, a place where all reconnaissance and raids are planned. Upgrading this building will allow you to better reconnaissance effects and obtain more resources needed to craft items while killing creatures. The last building is probably the most important place in the entire camp. When this building is fully upgraded, we'll also gain more gold for selling monsters in the marketplace. Gold will be useful when hire workers, and we need them to craft items. So now check out the equipment cards. They add a new skill to Seeker who carries them. An item's ability is listed at the bottom of the card. Sometimes they will be passive bonuses or traits, other times they will be abilities or spells that can be used in increase of attacking the monster. There are also tokens related items, the number of which indicates how many times you can use the item until it runs out. At the bottom of the card, symbols indicate the crafting cost of the item and the building level required for the crafting in the camp. So let's go back to the camp. There are always 3 buildings available at the start of the game. The first one is the barracks, and 2 other ones chosen by players, which are marked with a token of the first level. You will be able to build and develop the remaining buildings in the camp during the game. But before we begin, place the season token on the first space on the track on the encounter board. We move the token when characters have performed all their actions. It will mark the passing of the seasons. To start the game, separate the cards from the treat deck. This called treat card deck consists of 10 types of cards. Each type has cards in 3 levels. In some seasons, the threat from monsters will increase. If we leave our camp, it may be attacked, building may be destroyed, and workers may be killed. In Season 3, 5, 8 and 10, we will be adding and removing cards from the threat deck that are related to the events, such as monster attacks to the camp, among others. But as the game progresses, the fame of Seekers also grows. They could earn rewards for their actions in the form of gold and additional workers. All of this is related to the Scout treat cards. When creating the treat deck, take each type of level 1 card, then do the same to the level 2 cards and the 3 level cards from the treat deck. From the pool collected in this way, create the deck by shuffling the cards from 3 levels separately. After that, we draw 2 cards from the deck. We choose one of them and prepare the encounter of its basis. So after selecting a treat card that shows the type and level of monsters, you have to find their cards. In my case, it's the second level of Phoenix and 3 random monsters cards from the first level. So I place the Phoenix card on the treat card so that the bottom text part is visible. Then I draw 3 more random monsters from the first level creature deck. Speaking of monsters, see what creatures you will be dealing with in this game. There are a total of 10 different types. Fighting each one requires a different approach, as each of them has different effects and special abilities. As I said, each type of creatures comes in 3 levels. Monsters differ from each other not only in terms of health, but also in skills. After separating cards and choosing monsters, prepare resources token from them. At the top of each monster card, you will see the resource symbol that creature drops after killing it. Their number depends on the level of creature. These resources in the various sets will be needed to craft items from the workers' crafting recipes, so it's worth to collect them. Now that you know the creatures to hunt, prepare the instinct deck. Each creature has 5 instinct cards. These cards control the monster's movement and its attack abilities. This is the artificial intelligence, similar to, for example, in the Gloomhaven board game. Based on a randomly drawn instinct card, we resolve a fight in which the monster determines the target of the attack based on criteria such as attack the closest character or the one with lower defense or life value. The instinct card will indicate any bonuses and modifications to the creature's basic abilities. So, how do you create your instinct deck? Well, from the pool of instinct cards, you need to find 5 cards assigned to the given monster. In my case, it's 5 Phoenix instinct cards, as well as 5 for Griffon and the other 2 creatures. Then all 20 cards are put together and carefully shuffled. They form a monster instinct card deck and place it next to the board. In the basic version of the Wild Assent, there are 6 encounter board settings, which can be seen in the maps in the rulebook. So now choose a board from this game. For this, use the 6 cards. After shuffling, the card shows us the board number. In my case, it's setting number 1. So listen to the introduction. After marching forward seems like an hour, you finally reach your destination deep within the wilds. You have spotted your prey. There's just one problem. Someone has gone missing. There is no time to track them down. The local faunas is now aware of your presence. You prepare for the fight of your lives, hoping your fellow seeker can find time in their busy schedule to join you. As you can see in the map of the rulebook, you should now place the monster miniatures on the appropriate spaces on the board. These are those marked with the red symbols. The arrows indicate the direction of the creature's movement, while the numbers indicate which monster should be placed on the given space. Black dots with numbers indicate where heroes are placed. The X symbols are obstacles, are described right next to the page in the rulebook. So, full cover restricts the movement of characters and creatures. You cannot attack someone behind cover. Partial cover grants +1 defense to characters and monsters adjacent to this token. Spiky brush works like full cover and has an additional effect. Deals 2 damage to the character that's pushed onto it. Pitch hole immediately ends its activation and forces a character or creature to spend its next turn to get out of it. So now check out how should obstacles be selected and placed. Again, cards with numbers will be needed. So we draw the first card. In my case, it's shown the value 4. Now we check what the obstacle is, full cover, so we choose the right token. The next number on the card is 2, and you have to find the appropriate token again. And now shuffle these 2 cards into the deck and draw another 2 cards again. New card is number 3 and again the full cover obstacle token. So the next card shows the number 6, which is pit. Again shuffle these 2 cards into the deck and draw another 1 to collect the required 5 obstacle tokens. The number 5 is the spike brush. Now place the obstacle tokens on the board according to the order in the chosen scenario. Then, using the health value to both characters and monsters, place the tokens around the encounter board on the track. During the game, we'll move these tokens when a given seeker or monster loses health points, marking their current level. Before you start playing, you must unlock the abilities on the character boards. They are related to the building's level in the camp. For example, the Temple of level 1 allows you to unlock the first skill on this hero. The rest of the skills are still locked because there are no buildings with the required levels in the camp. In the case of the second hero, her third abilities is unlocked because it is connected with the command tent, which is on the required level 1. While we are so close to starting the game, take a close look at the all creature miniatures you will be hunting in the wild and killing in the arena board. the miniatures of the seekers and monsters should be placed on board in the appropriate places, and you can begin your adventure. Playing Wild Assent in survive mode, players have to survive 10 seasons. We mark the lapse of time by moving the season token on the track on the encounter board. When all 4 characters are down in combat, they lose. A more difficult variant of the hunt for more experienced players you can find off page 2 of the campaign book. You can also experience your adventure in Wild Assent by playing the campaign. Several different scenarios wait you here, which combine with each other into a large adventure, which is described in an extensive storyline. Here, in addition to hunting in the wild, you will fight in the arena, turning the encounter board to the arena side and using slightly different components and the heroes themselves. This variant will provide the thrill of a competitive game for 2 players or 2 teams of 2 heroes facing each other in the arena. You will fight until the last survivor or the first player gets the appropriate amount of health points assigned to each gladiator. Thank you guys for your attention, hope you liked this video and that the game itself also interests you. Check the link in the description below for the next Wild Assent expansion campaign, and if you want to watch more of this presentation, please leave a like and join to my subscribers. It will be very pleased because of this. And now, have a good day. Bye bye!